Alright, had a game last night with my Bretonnians versus a Tomb King army. For those of you who've seen all my battles, you've seen me play this opponent with this list previously. I've actually played him twice. One of the times I didn't bring a camera, and one of them I did. In that game, he beat me. So I've played him twice, I've lost twice to this list, and it's kind of put some added pressure on this game. I really don't want to lose 3 times in a row to the same list. Plus, we're both involved in a league, which is kind of like an extended tournament, and so the game has some ramifications for that as well. So, here we go. This is on my far right. His left, he's got a unit of chariots with his tomb prince, a screaming skull catapult, some tomb guard with his king. To the left of that, he's got the casket of souls on the hill, a couple units of archers surrounding it with some Ushabti, and he has his Hierophant, the painted model behind the Ushabti. On the left, big block of skellies with some carrion and some more fast cav chariots. So I've got him a lot more units on the board than he does. So my far right, I took my damsel out of the Grail Knights unit that she's normally in because we're playing a scenario where you get bonus points for keeping your spellcasters alive and for killing your opponent's spellcasters. So my plan is just to put her in the woods and make it so she can't see out or in and nobody can see her. Anyway, I have some skirmishing bowmen, big block of knights errant. This is the one that has the errantry banner. Got some Pegasus knights with musician, my trebuchet, my lord on the royal Pegasus, some more Pegasus knights, 23 men-at-arms, and then on my left flank I went kind of heavy. Put my 5 Grail Knights, 5 Fast Cav, 8 Knights of the Realm with my BSB, and then 9 more Knights Errant. So with this list, I have very little magic defense. I have 3 Dispel Dice and 2 Scrolls, and that really concerns me. It means I need to get that Casket of Souls taken care of early, and to the extent I can, kill his characters as quickly as I can. So here we go, Tomb King's turn 1. He really didn't move up very far. You can see he just advanced a little bit. Same with this, on this side. In his magic phase, he just moved a little bit more with the angle with those chariots. And I thought that was curious because they're within range for my Pegasus Knights to charge them. And if I can charge with my Pegasus Knights and tie them up, that gives my Knights Errant, who are off the screen, time to swing around those woods and hit them in the flank. So I thought that was an interesting move there. So, Brett turn 1, I take my Pegasus Knights and I declare a charge against his Fast Cav with the Prince, and I fail my fear test. Which is just... Anyway, so they're stuck there and susceptible to being charged by that unit on his turn, I think. And if not during his declare charges stage, definitely during his magic phase. So I'm really in trouble there. But I went ahead and angled my Knights Errant to sweep around the woods because I just kind of like what that can do for me. I'm keeping my bowmen right there because if he charges them, they're going to flee, and that'll take him through the woods, really damaging his chariots. So, and otherwise they're just going to stand there and shoot at stuff. So what looks like the left-hand side of the board, that's actually the middle of the table. I have a unit of Pegasus Knights up there and my generals up there. And he knows what I'm doing. I'm looking to charge that Casket of Souls. Over here, I decide to take my 2 blocks together and just cram him down his throat. And I'm basically saying, charge me. I'm not worried about your D3 Strength 4 impact hits, especially with my 2 units combined like that. And if he charges the Fast Cav, I think my Grail Knights and or my other Knights will take care of him. So, Tomb King's turn 2, he moves up a little bit but does not declare a charge with that cavalry. I'm not sure why, unless he's probably thinking he's going to charge during his magic phase. And his carrion, he moved over in front of his Tomb Guard at the top right. That becomes significant later. And over here, he took his Fast Cav and moved him back. And I thought I was plenty close so that if he moved 8 inches, I would still be able to get the charge. But them being Fast Cav allows them to wheel and move around terrain such that it makes it very difficult for me to get the charge off. So in the magic phase, he gets his carrion with an extra movement, and they charge my lord, which is significant. Ultimately, they're probably going to win, or I'm probably going to win that, but it keeps me from charging his Casket of Souls on my next turn. And that's huge because my magic defense is very, very weak. There's another shot of it. And even though it looks like it's one unit, it's not. That's a unit of Pegasus Knights, and my Lord is separate from it. I believe over here, if memory serves, I think he tried to use the magic phase to get that charge off, and I think I stopped it. I think he just rolled just horribly. So I decided this turn, instead of charging with my Pegasus Knights, to just fly over the top of them, because I want to force his Hierophant to get away from there, and without her around, he can't get any extra movement on those chariots, and I'll be able to take care of them. I'm not worried about him charging my archers. Again, I think I'll pull him through the woods, and I just really don't care. Up here, I took the chance using the General's leadership and had my Pegasus Knights charge the Casket of Souls. It causes terror, but with his leadership, I was confident that I could pass my test, and I did. And I think they have one wound because during his shooting phase he put a wound on him. Other than that, only one of my guys could get in contact with it. The others were just barely out of range. That's why it's lined up like that. Over here, General's still fighting. I pushed my other troops up pretty aggressively. Here, I charged with my BSB unit. I think I might have been able to make it, but they failed their fear test. I really about threw the dice against the wall when that happened. Declared a charge with my Knights Errant. They were out of reach, so that was a failed charge on their part, which really hurt me. It would have been so much better if I just would have marched both of them up 16 inches. But I didn't, and that's the way it played out. So Brett turn 2, I have no idea. Oh, I broke the rules and I wasn't thinking about it. I shot all my archers at his Tomb Prince, and I was thinking that there were not 5 rank and file troops around him, so he could be singled out, and that's not true. We figured out later. We should have randomized the shots between the unit and the Tomb Prince. As we played it, all the shots went at him. None wounded him, but I shot the chariot out from underneath him. So kind of interesting, and I hate that. I know that rule. I should have known better, but I screwed it up. So here in this combat, I don't know, we did a couple wounds. I won, so I was able to move my Pegasus Knights up, but for the most part, I didn't get what I needed to on that, which is killing the Lich Priest. And did more damage on this guy, but still not enough to do any good. So Tomb King's turn 3, he moves his Tomb Guard into the flank of my Pegasus Knights, so those guys are going to get crushed. What's really going to hurt is during his magic phase, he'll probably get smiting off and do a lot of damage before we even get into combat. So I don't care if I lose those guys, I just want to kill the Lich Priest before they go. On this side of the board, you see he takes his chariots and backs up even more, so I'm definitely out of charge range now. And other than that, he's just hanging out. He's protecting that hill, and he's put his archers on the hill in front of the Casket of Souls, so that now apparently my general, if he does kill that last carrion, can't see the casket. If my Pegasus Knights die, all they can see are those archers, and that becomes significant. So they come in there, and that's my champion who was on the right-hand side, so my champion gets killed before the combat phase even begins. Screaming Skull Catapult lands one on my men-at-arms, which is just fine by me. That's what they're for. His archers pick off another one, and again, I don't care. Pegasus Knights get beat in combat. They run away from the Grave Guard, Tomb Guard, I mean, and the Tomb Guard just kind of run into the Casket of Souls, so they're kind of stopped right there. So he's in a real awkward position, which again is a little bit significant with how things play out afterwards. But now it's turn 3, so I've burned through my scrolls, and I can't charge the Casket of Souls because those archers block my line of sight, and I do not need him getting the Casket of Souls going off. So if I save my Dispel dice for that, everything else he tries he's going to be able to do. And so I'm getting kind of worried about that. Yeah, I don't remember what happened here. He charged in with his Tomb Prince. He got smiting off, and so he was able basically to get 2 attacks and just wipe through that Pegasus Knight unit. My general during the combat phase was finally able to kill the last of the carrion.